Hi, Shauna.
Hi, Robin. Yes.
So, what can you tell us about Tansy and Sage?
Well, Tansy and Sage have not been with us for very long. They came to Mickaboo in February of this year. So they're still adjusting and settling in. They were surrendered to us when the owner was unable to care for them any longer. They were kept in a very, very small, tiny little travel cage that we wouldn't really recommend keeping two lovebirds in because they can uh, get aggressive towards each other when they're in a really confined space. So now Tansy and Sage are in a much larger cage that they're much more comfortable in, have more room to move around. They also did not have very many toys, really, so they really didn't even know what to do with toys or make of them when they were given them in their new home, but they're happily starting to learn about those, and they are very bonded with each other.
I was actually just about to ask if they were bonded because they do seem like they're getting along.
Very much so. They like to be right there next to each other all the time. And they're approximately 11 to 13 years old. Tansy is the smaller lovebird that you see there that has plucked some of the feathers. And Sage is the other bird that is fully feathered.
Okay, yeah, they look real cute right there. So can you tell us a little bit more about Tansy's plucking? Are they still plucking or is that a historical thing?
Given that they've only been with us since February, she probably might still be doing that. And what ends up happening when they have been plucking for a long time, because that was something that she came to us already having those feathers missing, is that they damage the feather follicle. So sadly, some of Tansy's feathers may never grow back in, so she might always look like that. But she might get some new feathers growing in. But again, they have both been to an avian vet. They were both treated for a couple of infections that they had, but at a recent vet visit, they were both given a clean bill of health, so they're not on any medications, and they're not. They don't have any special needs for their care.
Okay, that's good to know. Do we know their genders? Are they a male-female pair or?
We do not know. The only way to really know that is to have a DNA test done. And so that has not been done with Tansy and Sage. They might be both females or they might be male-female. We do not know 100%.
Okay. So what are they eating actually?
Okay, so they are on a pelleted diet, and the foster mom is doing a wonderful job of trying to introduce them to some fresh foods, fresh veggies and greens for them. So they're getting used to that and starting to become a little more adventurous in what they're eating. But they did already come on they were on a rowdy bush, I believe. So they are used to being on a pelleted diet. They like their, let me see here, sorry about that. They are doing very well with that. She also introduces some dried greens into their diet, just so she can get them used to starting to accept fresh veggies and fruits more. So they're right now doing pretty good on their diets.
Yeah, it looks like they are eating those dried veggies right now.
Yeah.
That's actually, yeah, once you get them onto the pellets, that I feel like is the hardest part. So that's a nice big step, the fact that they came in with that. Yeah. Are they tame at all? Do they step up? Are they willing to be on hands, shoulders, or anything like that?
No, they are not. In their prior home, they were not really handled. So they are not hand tamed. They do not like to step up. Hands are still a scary thing to them. But after being in their foster home for a while, they are starting to calm down a little bit and not flutter around in fear when the foster mom comes to the cage. So they're getting used to being around, having the humans around them more, but they do not, at this point in time, want to step up or have any other action, interaction other than talking to them and seeing them, being near them. They're starting to get used to that a bit, but they do not want to be on you or step up onto a perch.
Still learning to appreciate people, although I'm sure with enough treats, they might be able to be won over, as are all birds in my experience. So I know you mentioned they hadn't really experienced any toys and we're still kind of getting adjusted. Do they have any toys that they like now?
Well, they are, as I mentioned, they're getting used to that, getting used to their toys. And they're becoming a little more adventurous with playing with them. It doesn't appear that they have any specific favorites, but again, they're being a little more adventurous and they're learning to have fun with the things in their cages. So
still getting used to it, especially considering they've only been here for a couple months.
Yes.
It's a slow process. We did actually have a question from the audience more about generalized lovebird. You said they were, I think you said 11 to 13. How old do lovebirds live to be?
Well, they can live about 20 years. Some, maybe even 30, but that's generally their lifespan.
I actually had another question about lovebirds myself. So you've got these little guys. Are they big talkers? Because I know a lot of people come in, they're looking for birds that are going to mimic. What are their noises like? Are they mimicking people? Are they cheeping? Are they screaming? What kind of noises would you expect from a lovebird?
They do more bird noises than doing any talking. And as far as the noise level goes, they're not terribly loud. They can have their times when they're calling out and chattering with each other, which is not a very high volume compared to some of the birds that are pretty loud, we would call them. These guys are not super loud, so they're fairly quiet.
They sound like they'd be quite. I honestly, every time they walk over, I keep thinking that they have a little hula skirt on. That Tansy's got a little hula skirt going on.
I was going to bring that out towards the end. She's adorable. Yes, she's like wearing a little tutu or a hula skirt all the time. So yes, that's a very adorable thing about her.
It's super cute. So before we move on to our next bird, do you have any fun stories about these beyond that they're wearing a hula skirt all the time?
Well, one of the things that the foster parent is finding out is that they like to hear music. They like some classical music playing in the background. It's pretty soothing to them, so they like that. They like to go outside. The foster mom keeps them in their cage and rolls it outside to give them baths. So they like doing that. They also will tolerate spray bottle mist in the house if you can't get them outside. So again, that would have to be done safely and make sure that the cage is a sturdy, secure one like they're in now. But those are some fun facts about these two.
Thank you very much, Shauna. All right.